moment, I'm sorry I haven't a clue. The antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin Sell, and your chairman is Jack Dee.
Welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. You join us this week in Crawley, the economic powerhouse of West Sussex. I don't know it well, but there's obviously an awful lot to do in Crawley, judging by the size of its airport. Gatwick became a wartime manufacturing base, and a very first Wellington bomber was built there by Vickers, but they couldn't get it out of the church. Although very much a 20th century town, Crawley has 2 Grade 1 listed buildings. These are the medieval Perpendicular Gothic Church of St Margaret in Ifield and the Asda Superstore on the Pegler estate. The founder of Punch magazine, Mr Mark Lemon, lived in Ifield, and when he died in 1870, as a mark of respect, that week, Punch magazine took all the jokes out for the next 140 years. To the south of Crawley is the town of Midhurst, which is one of the most expensive finishing schools in Europe, is a mecca for collectors of fine art and exquisite antiques, hosts the British Polo Championships, and has the tallest church spire in Sussex. It's said if you climb to the top on a clear day, you can very nearly see poverty. The former Spice Girl, Emma Bunton, was born here. Known as Baby Spice, as she was the youngest member of the group, she left to pursue a solo career as Unemployed Spice. An eminent son of Crawley is the scientist, Professor John Nye. As the world's most respected glaciologist, on one of his trips to the Himalayas, Nye is believed by many to have discovered the remains of the abominable snowman. 2 huge lumps of coal and a massive carrot. From the world of television, both Piers Morgan and Simon Cowell are from Sussex. Both were on Britain's Got Talent, and both proved it hasn't. We are today guests of Crawley's Horse Theatre, which was originally stables. It was where Farmer Giles kept his horse. It has its own theatre company dedicated to producing newly written work from aspiring directors and performers. But there's more to the Horth than just youth and originality. Let's meet the teams. On my left, Barry Cryer and Graham Garden. And on my right, Tim Brooke-Taylor and Ross Noble. Eager as ever to handle the team's points, please welcome our scorer, the ever-delightful Samantha. OK, well, we start off with a round about books. And they say that no matter what the subject of a book is, you'll always learn something about its author. So if you read anything by Katie Price, you'll learn he's a 57-year-old sub-editor called George. Did the sound just drop then on that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good. I know, I like to find out, otherwise Barry thinks he's having a stroke.
I wish. He'd never reached from there.
A lot of thought goes into the titles of books, so teams, let's mess some up. I'd like you, please, to suggest books which would have been very different if just one letter had gone missing from the title. Barry, you can start.
Bride Shed Revisited.
Tim?
The Da Vinci Cod.
Ross?
Lice in Wonderland.
Graham?
The Holy Bile.
Harry Otter and the Goblet of Fur.
Oliver Twit.
A Brief History of Tim.
David Copperfield. The Lion, the Itch and the Wardrobe.
The Big Seep.
Widows for Dummies.
One with the Wind.
Oh, Hello, by William Shakespeare.
Shakespeare's As You Lick It.
Charlotte's Wee.
Oddie and Big Ears.
Good, well, now we know what the teams have been doing all day. We're going to move on to a singing round, and it's called One Song to the Tune of Another. The rules are simple enough. What you have to do, teams, is think of a song as a pair of shoes. Your feet represent the words which slip into the pair of shoes, or the tune, and at the end of the day, you get home and take your shoes off and pop on a pair of slippers, or a different tune. And there you have it. One song is sung to the tune of another. And yes, teams, I know what you're thinking. Where does shoe repairers come into this? No footwear-based analogy would be complete without a load of cobblers banging away in the background. At the piano, Colin Sell. Listeners will be interested to hear that Colin recently picked up a Grammy, but she started to scream, so he had to put her down again. OK, so we'll start with you, Barry. I'd like you to sing the words of I Am 16 going on 17 from The Sound of Music to the tune of House of the Rising Sun.
I am 16, going on 17. I know that I'm naive. Fellas I meet may tell me I'm sweet, and willingly I believe. I am 16, going on 17, innocent as a rose. Bachelor dandies, drinkers of brandies, what do I know of those?
Thank you, Barrow. It's you now, Tim, and I'd like you to sing the words of Nothing Compares to You by Sinead O'Connor to the tune of the Teddy Bear's Picnic.
It's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took your love away. I go out every night and sleep all day since you took your love away. Since you've been gone I can do whatever I want and I can see whomever I choose. I can't eat my dinner in a fancy restaurant. But nothing I said, nothing can take away these blues, 'cause nothing compares to you. It's been so lonely without you here, like a bird with a song. Nothing can stop these lonely tears from falling. Tell me, baby, where did I go wrong? I could put my arms around every boy I see, but they'd only remind me of you.
Thank you, Tim, and to those of you who clapped along, do get a grip. So it's your turn now, Ross, and I'd like you to sing the words of Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick to the tune of the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
In the deserts of Sudan and the gardens of Japan, from the land to Yucatan, every woman, every man, hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me, hit me, hit me, just don't ich bin lieber dick. Hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me slowly, hit me quick, hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me.
Ross Noble fans will be delighted to know that this show constitutes another 2 hours towards his community service. Finally, Graham, I'd like you to sing the words of Kung Fu Fighting to the tune of Charles Aznavour's She.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those cats were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing. They were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown. They were chopping them up, they were chopping them down. In the ancient Chinese art, everybody knew their part. From a fainting to a slip, and kicking from the hip, everybody was kung fu fighting. Those cats were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening, but they fought with expert timing. There was funky Billie Jean.
Thank you, Graham. The next round is called Word for Word. This is where one team member starts by saying a single word, and his teammate should then say another word which must be completely unconnected with the one before. So if, say, boredom was followed by yawning, you'll know that they've started. The opposing team should challenge if they notice connections. Okay, so Tim and Ross, would you please start exchanging your random words now?
Crumpet.
Haggis.
Parsnips.
Stepladder.
Molest.
Finger painting.
Graham has challenged you there on...
There's a connection between finger and painting.
I can't let you have that because both words came from Ross. Ross was, strictly speaking, not adhering to the rules because there were two words, but they are hyphenated, so I'm going to allow it on this occasion.
Oh, right.
Very well.
Heckle.
Banjo.
Butterfly.
Creosote.
Barry.
Creosote Butterfly. 60s rock band.
No, I can't let you have that, Barry. I think you wouldn't be able to name one of their albums if I asked you.
Creosote Butterfly 1.
Yeah. Apart from the eponymous album, obviously.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Graham.
I think it is the duty of every good citizen to heckle a banjo. That was in there.
All right, I'm going to allow that. Do we throw it over to the other team, or...?
Yeah.
You're in charge.
Yeah, I know.
Hesitation.
Not strictly true, but the audience enjoyed your challenge so much. I'm going to... yes, so carry on, please, Tim and Ross.
Leverage.
Tweezers.
April.
Dirigible.
Buttock.
Gerbil.
Calligraphy.
Barry.
There's a famous news story in America. I can't go on. Concerning a major celebrity in a gerbil and a buttock. I can't name names, but it's a well-known story, so there's a direct connection, as there was between the gerbil and the buttock.
So I'm sorry, I think I have to allow that one. I think that is a good challenge,
Yeah,
yes.
very good.
Would you take over, Graham, Barry?
Okay. Right.
Plinth.
Plum.
Hassock.
Station.
Ross.
Sometimes the monks rub their plums on the cassock.
If they can't get a gerbil, I suppose, yeah.
How would you know such a thing, Ross? How would you just...
I was an altar boy for many years. Why did I say that out loud?
Yes, I'm not sure I can let you. That's a speculation, really. That's not fact. And to carry on, please, Graham and Barry.
Us.
Yes.
That was my word.
Oh.
That's right. Them.
Quadrangle.
Tim.
These were all words in the Liberal Democrats' manifesto.
Where did quadrangle feature?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. And what are they doing about it now?
I'm not sure I can allow that. I don't remember, and I studied it very carefully, the manifesto,
fair enough.
and quadrangle I don't remember. But it's Barry and Graham still.
Again.
Yeah.
That was my word.
Oh.
Twice.
Careful.
Now.
Cigar.
But.
Minute.
Second.
Open.
Shut.
Cake.
Eat.
Did you say open?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not challenging that.
No.
Oh. Challenge.
Yes, Ross.
Cake. Sometimes it's a challenge to eat quite a stale cake.
I'm just relieved to hear someone else's voice, frankly, so... Yes, Ross and Tim, back to you.
In what
I'm
way?
afraid I've forgotten
Incest.
how this round is supposed to end. I should have paid attention.
I think you can stop it whenever you want.
All right, well, carry on. I don't want to yet.
Manganese.
Oh, Brasso.
Basically.
Well, that's how it ends. Thank
Is
you.
that because I said Brasso? The gong goes off.
You mustn't say Brasso, not on this show. OK, well, Don't worry if you're confused. Think how I feel. The next round is about the difficult questions asked by children. And one of the most frequent we hear on this show is, isn't there something else on? Another frequent question these days is, Daddy, can you let me have 45 grand so I can go to college? I'm sure we were all shocked by the number of students away from university recently rioting in London. And they destroyed a branch of McDonald's and Cash in the Attic's viewing figures. OK, I have a selection of difficult questions from a young listener, which I'll ask the teams to answer. OK, so Tim, here's the first question for you.
Before I was born, how did I get into Mummy's tummy?
Well, Daddy went to the baby shop, and whilst he was out, the milkman put you in there.
There's one for you, Graham.
What is the rudest word in the world?
You must ask Jeremy Hunt, the Culture Secretary.
Ross.
Will my cat go to heaven?
If it's a gay cat that loves to dance.
Barry.
Who's better, David Cameron or SpongeBob SquarePants?
Well, one is a fictional comedy creation and the other is SpongeBob SquarePants.
Another one for you, Tim.
Why did Father Christmas give my brother Xbox when he's so naughty?
Because your brother kept quiet about Father Christmas and the au pair.
There's always a sort of confessional back note to what Tim is saying, I notice. Graham, here's one for you.
What would happen if I didn't tidy my toys?
Oh, well, the tidy goblin would come and chop you into little bits and then file all the bits alphabetically. Now, go to sleep.
And Ross.
How do you catch a squirrel?
Unprotected sex with a tree.
In fact, I believe the child has an answer to that question.
Climb up a tree and act like a nut.
OK, here's some for any of you to have a go at.
What does FIFA stand for?
The Russian national anthem.
Will Madonna come and steal me?
Not if the underbed monster gets you first. Now go to sleep.
What do you call a cat that's just eaten a duck?
If you're at a Keith Harris show, a hero.
Here's the answer to that one.
A duck-filled fatty-puss.
Don't groan, it's the show's writer talking. And another one.
Is there a man in the moon?
Yeah, it's just down the road from Barry's house.
And another?
What goes tick, tick, woof?
That's a dog marking A-level papers.
I suppose we also have the answer. It's...
A watchdog.
Oh,
Finally?
What's black and white and black and white and black and white?
A penguin dressed as a nun riding a zebra.
Well, here's the actual answer.
A penguin rolling down a hill.
Nothing. That chat's rubbish.
Well, it's music time again with Just a Minim. This is the team's musical version of Just a Minute, the wireless favourite hosted by the veteran broadcaster Nicholas Parsons, who recently published his autobiography. And this isn't one of those celebrity biographies bashed out by a ghostwriter. Nicholas personally agonised over every word, and so will you. In Just a Minim, the team's attempt to sing well-known songs without hesitation, deviation or repetition, while musical accompaniment is provided by Colin Sell. And we were all interested to learn that the KGB once investigated Colin because his first music lesson was taken by Vladimir Ashkenazy, the Russian piano virtuoso who fled into exile in London. Isn't that incredible? Colin Sell had a music lesson. Okay, so the song I'd like you to sing without repetition, hesitation or deviation is The Wheels on the Bus. So would you please start, Barry?
the wheels on the bus go round and again, circular, rotating, circulating, the round thing.
Yes, Graham.
Repetition of round.
Yes, it was a repetition of round. Graham very quickly noticed that you had indeed repeated the word round. And Graham was so sharp to come in immediately like that and take over the round with just 35 seconds to go.
Right, and the wheels on the bus go circumferentially again all day long. The wipers on the bus go swish.
And Ross has come in.
Is that deviation because it's not all day long? They must stop at the bus stops.
That is a deviation to some extent. Ross, not such an experienced player of the game. We are talking, the subject is the wheels on the bus. So would you please take over, Ross?
The wipers on the bus go swish, swoosh, swah. Swallow, shwoomp, shlimp, the rubber items that clean the windscreen on the bus go wash.
Well, the audience were enjoying your performance very much there, Ross. But I'm afraid Barry has interrupted and challenged you on
bus
a point.
popped up, didn't it?
Bus did indeed pop up, Barry.
There was also deviation from human speech.
Yes.
Barry, though obviously ancient, is sufficiently with it to have noticed that there was something slightly amiss there with Ross's marvellous performance. So it's with only 10 seconds to go, it's over to you, Barry.
The horn on the... I can do a bus now, can't I?
You can indeed, yes, you can.
Goes beep, weep, sheep. Boop, bap, bop, bip, bop, and bop.
I don't think we can have filthy language, Barry. Tim has come in to play on this round. We haven't heard from you yet, have we, Tim? Come in with 3 seconds to go. What a coincidence.
Hesitation.
It was a little bit of hesitation there. I have to give you that, Tim, a seasoned veteran of the game that we all love so much and that is indeed loved throughout the universe. In other galaxies, indeed. Tim, over to you with 3 seconds to go.
The bell.
And Graham has come in there.
Hesitation.
Oh, yes.
There was a tad of hesitation. I think that's right, Tim. Despite your longevity and experience in the game, there was a hesitation, and we are indebted to Darth Vader for this wonderful game. With less than a nanosecond to go, it's over to Graham. And Graham was singing When the Whistle Went. Graham, a skillful player of the game, has come in and won that one again. I am actually now dissolving. It's very nearly the end of the show, but first I'd just like to thank the teams for struggling here despite appalling weather conditions. Ever the professionals, they've only cancelled one recording in 38 years, and that was due to foot and mouth. But they were soon up and out of bed again. OK, the final round is inspired by the X Factor, but takes account of the raunchy image it developed in the show's final. So teams in the triple X Factor, I'd like you to come up with song titles likely to suit the show's new post-watershed image. Ross, you can start.
Can't take my thighs off of you.
Barry.
Humping Jack Flash.
Tim.
Like a virgin, anyone?
Graham.
The Teddy's Bear Picnic.
Papa's got a brand new shag.
The Oral Dance.
Little brown jugs.
Mr. Bow dangles.
Tools out for the summer.
Touch me up before you go.
It's my panties and I'll cry if I want to.
How much is that dogging in the window?
Good, well.
Can we have the spunky given? I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I couldn't...
In your dreams.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the dentures of time clink into the glass of eternity, and the wine waiter of fate apologises to the diner of destiny, I notice it's the end of the show. So, from the team, Samantha, myself, and our audience here in Crawley, it's goodbye. Goodbye!
Barry Cryer, Graham Garden, Tim Brooke-Taylor and Ross Noble were being given silly things to do by Jack Dee, with Colin Sell setting some of them to music. The programme consultant was Ian Pattinson, and the producer was John Naismith.